residential lots
So
can
what would that be, like class
dump out onto.
7?
Get this regular monthly meeting started of the Planning Program and Zoning Commission. Today is Tuesday, April 2nd, and it is 4:02. We're looking for a motion to receive the agenda.
Also move.
Second.
We have a first and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We have an agenda. Second item on our agenda this evening is to approve the minutes of the regular meeting that was held on March 5th, 2013.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
First and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Opposed? Okay. Minutes are approved. Take a minute, look over the financial report from February. When you've had time to do that, we'll be entertaining a motion.
I move to approve the financial report.
Second.
I guess discussion.
We have a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
That's fine.
Okay.
There's nothing on there.
Moving right along. Is there anybody in the audience tonight that would like to speak pertaining to anything that's not on the agenda this evening? Okay, seeing none, move to our first agenda item, which is a hearing. The time is 4:04, and a hearing is scheduled at this time. The request is by Sunnyside South Edition LLC to rezone 16.0 acres from R1 and two-family residence district R4RP planned multiple residence district and C2 CZ conditional zoning commercial district to R1 and two-family residence district for the purpose of developing 24 new single-family residential lots generally located along the north side of West San Martin Drive, just west of Amesboro Avenue. At this time, we should receive and place on file the statement of verification signed by Patty McGee stating, I, Patty McGee, do hereby certify that a copy of the attached letter, site plan, and aerial photos was mailed to each individual on the attached list by regular mail on March 22nd, 2013. Can we have a motion to receive and place this notice on file?
Also move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? For those of you who wish to speak for or against this request, we would ask that you please come to the microphone and identify yourself by name and address. The members of the commission should also identify themselves before speaking into the microphones.
All right. This is Andera staff. This applicant is requesting the rezone to allow for the ability to construct 24 single-family houses along the north side of West San Martin Drive. Request would not appear to have a negative impact upon the surrounding neighborhood and land uses, as additional single-family housing would be compatible with already existing development in the surrounding area. The north portion of the area to be rezoned is zoned R1, 1 and 2 family residence district, has been zoned as such since the adoption of the zoning ordinance. The south portion of the rezoned area is zoned R4RP, planned multiple residence district, and C2 CZ conditional zoning district, and was rezoned as such on February 25th, 2004 from A1 agricultural district. The current boundary line of the zoning area extends to the center of the vacated West San Martin Drive. Surrounding land use to the north, Sunnyside Country Club, zoned R1. To the south, vacant development ground and some professional office, zoned R4RP, planned multiple residence district. To the east, West San Martin Drive right-of-way, zoned R1, as well as C2 CZ conditional zoning district. And to the west is West San Martin Drive right-of-way, zoned R1, as well as R4RP. Rezone area consists of approximately 16.08 acres of land and is located along West San Martin Drive between West 4th Street and Amesboro Avenue. The applicant is requesting the rezone for the purpose of creating 24 single-family dwellings that will abut the south side of Sunnyside Country Club. Rezoning of the land would not appear to have a negative impact upon the surrounding area, as well as not having a negative impact upon traffic conditions in the area. Allowance of the property in question to be developed for single-family residential purposes would appear to fit the character of the existing surrounding area, as a golf course to the north is surrounded by existing single-family development. Tract A is a 6.365 acre parcel that will be reserved for roadway purposes of the relocated West San Martin Drive. Based on that, a total of 9.71 acres of the rezone area will be reserved for single-family development. The R1, 1 and 2 family residence district has a minimum lot area of 9,000 square feet, and with a total area of 423,316 square feet reserved for residential development. A total of 47 units could be potentially constructed within that area. However, the applicant is only proposing 24 units to get larger lot sizes. A portion of the rezone area is already zoned R1, 1 and 2 family residence district, and the reason a portion of the land is being rezoned from R1 to R1 is due to the ability to write a cleaner legal description of the rezone area. Therefore, staff recommends that the request to rezone from R1, 1 and 2 family residence district, R4RP planned residence district, and C2CZ conditional zoning district to R1, 1 and 2 family residence district be approved due to the following reasons. One, the proposed rezone area in question would appear to provide sufficient space to meet all required regulations, including setbacks, drainage, landscaping, screening, etc. Two, the proposed rezone area can be served by the extension of existing utilities in the area. And three, the proposed rezone area is a good infill development site and will provide for additional lots for new residential development within the city. Any questions for staff?
This is Mike Young. I just had a question on the rezone from going from R4 to R1. Actually seems to be a tighter restriction on the CZ. Commercial zoning. Can you put residential and commercial?
You can
Commercial
put
zone area?
residential and commercial zone,
Okay.
so
Is this just more for uniformity? I don't have a problem with doing it, and it seems like the plat is the more major question, but it's just more for uniformity?
right.
Okay. Thank you. I was just curious.
And actually, we've had calls recently from some banks. In Cedar Falls, you cannot put residential into a commercial zone without going through a special permit process. And so while even though it's permitted here, sometimes the banks want to see it rezoned, so we just thought that would be a cleaner for financing of houses and construction and all that in the future.
Gotcha. It does make sense. Thank you.
Are there any other questions for staff? Would anybody in the audience like to speak for or against this rezone? Okay. Seeing none and hearing none, we will entertain a motion.
I recommend a motion to approve the following request to rezone.
We have to close the hearing first.
I
Sorry.
have a motion. Apologize. Can I have a motion to close the hearing?
Also move?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Sorry about that.
Hearing is closed. Now we'll entertain a motion.
I recommend a motion to approve the request to rezone.
And I'll second.
First and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Rezone request is passed. And we have a request by Sunnyside South Addition LLC for the 24-lot preliminary plat of Sunnyside South Addition to allow for the construction of 24 new single-family homes, generally located along the north side of West San Martin Drive, just west of Amesboro Avenue. Staff?
This is Andero staff. I'll be covering both the preliminary and final plats in this particular staff report. Applicant is requesting to plat 24 residential lots for the purpose of developing single-family dwellings along the north side of West San Martin Drive. Request would not appear to have a negative impact upon the surrounding neighborhood, as additional single-family housing would be compatible with already existing development in the area. Platting of the land would not appear to have a negative impact upon existing vehicular and pedestrian traffic movements in the area. However, for a period of approximately 3 months, West San Martin Drive will be closed to relocate the road further to the south to create the buildable lots. This will require that motorists find alternative routes. Recently, the city completed improvements to Amesboro Avenue south of Highway 20, as well as completing a 1.5-mile extension of West Chalice Road between Amesboro Avenue and Highway 21. It It would appear that there are alternative routes on the south side of the city for motorists to reach such developments such as Audubon Park, Crossroads Shopping Center, etc. At this time, a deed of dedication has not been submitted stating where sidewalk would be installed. Platting of the land in question would not appear to have a negative impact upon drainage in the surrounding area. It is encouraged that the developer include swales in the development for water to pool, reducing runoff to the north. A 50-foot wide drainage easement is shown on the eastern portion of the plat between lots 1 and 2. New storm sewer will be installed. However, the size of the storm sewer has not yet been determined. Engineering has noted that a drainage plan needs to be submitted with the plat that shows how water will be retained upon the site. Staff has requested this information from the consulting engineer. However, nothing has been received at this time. There is a 4-inch drain tile located on both the north and south sides of West San Martin Drive. It is unknown at this time if the existing 4-inch drain tile will be removed as a part of the proposed project at the location. However, it would appear that as new storm sewer is being proposed for the development. It would appear that there were some culverts within the area in question. However, those have been abandoned and plugged. There is a large overhead electric line that runs along the south side of West San Martin Drive. It is not proposed to change the location of that overhead electric utility line, and it will remain on the south side of the existing right-of-way. There is a 12-inch water main that is stubbed at the intersection of West San Martin and Galactic Drive that can be extended to serve the plat. Preliminary and final plats consist of 24 lots and 1 tract containing 16.08 acres of land, which is located on the north side of West San Martin Drive between Amesboro Avenue and West 4th Street. There is 10-foot utility easements located along the frontage of all lots in the subdivision. A 50-foot drainage easement is located between lots 1 and 2, and a 15-foot ingress-egress easement is located between lots 21 and 22. There are 30-foot building setback lines shown on the frontage and rears of all the lots in the subdivision, which is the minimum requirement for the R1 zoning district. It is proposed to relocate West San Martin Drive approximately 50 feet to the south, starting at Galactic Drive and then curving northward 1,000 feet east of West 4th Street. Approximately 2/3 of a mile of the road between Amesboro and West 4th will be relocated. Tract A on the submitted plat is a portion of the area that will be dedicated for right-of-way purposes. The engineering department has requested that a contract and petition and waivers be submitted for the relocated road, proposed sanitary sewer and water main. Therefore, staff recommends that the request for the preliminary and final plats of Sunnyside South Addition be approved due to the following reasons. The plat can be serviced by the extension of existing utilities. The plat is in accordance with the subdivision ordinance and would appear to meet the requirements of the zoning ordinance. The plat is in accordance with the comprehensive plan of future land use map, which classify this area as mixed residential and professional office. And the plat will create an infill development site within the primary growth area, as well as adding additional development opportunities for new housing. Any questions for staff?
One question that I had was, I noticed that you said engineering has noted that the drainage plan needs to be submitted with the plat. Has Eric signed off on this, that that's okay to go ahead and follow up with this without getting that information ahead of time? Because we don't know what their plan is.
I can let Eric answer that.
Eric Thorson, Sr., that information has been requested for some time. We haven't received it yet. We're okay with it going through the planning process and P&Z and approving it. It just won't be able to go to City Council until we've been able to get that information and review it.
Okay.
So,
That's what I just wanted to make sure we
not a
weren't overstepping.
problem delaying things, or no point to delay things at this point. But
Okay.
before this can go on to council, engineering does have to provide a letter that everything's okay, and we haven't seen it, so we won't be able to do that until we get that
No,
information.
I just wanted to make sure that that was taken care of, so
Okay.
thank you.
Are there any other questions for staff?
This is Anderson with staff. Just to note also that there's also a 15-foot ingress-egress easement between lots 3 and 4 as well. And we did receive a deed of dedication. I looked at it pretty quickly, so I know we're going to look at that pretty closely. That did show sidewalk in the front. And those ingress-egress easements are actually shown as potential future extensions of the cartways from the golf course themselves for use along that corridor.
Across the street.
Correct.
The drainage easement, this is Meehy, excuse me, the drainage easement between lots 1 and 2, is that again for future development to the south of this?
I'm not sure, Eric, if you've had a chance to see that, or we'll have to see exactly what that's for when they turn in the full drainage plan.
Is there any discussion? Okay. No discussion. Anybody in the chamber like to speak for or against this?
I guess I could answer your question on the drainage easement.
Please
between
state your
Lot 1 and
name,
2.
please.
Jeff Stickford, representing Sunnyside South. Just to address the question on the drainage easement, that is an existing culvert that services the land to the south of the street. The easements to allow for any future repairs, anything like that. You can't construct residential or any structure over that portion of the road anyway. We will be tying potentially some of our storm sewer, but this is an existing feature that needs to be maintained, so.
Does any of your water, any plans go to the ponds that are currently on the course?
The intention is approximately 80% of this project will be drained to the west before going to the north. The intent is to divert as much water as possible from the golf course. In that particular location, it is a low point in the general topographical study. I guess it'd be the low spot in the area, and we cannot, without lift stations or pumps, get that water out. But it is currently servicing that area. Any other questions?
Yeah, this is Mike Young. Could you just explain the procedure on the road, the kind of the timeline or time frame for that in terms of rebuilding the road?
At this time, we're close to getting preliminary drawings to the engineering department. We expect to do that within the next 7 to 10 days. We'll go through the permitting process, which will take, we anticipate 2 months for review, DNR permits, etc. We're hoping to start construction in the middle of June. We will demolish the existing road, start the utility work, and we anticipate that work taking about 90 calendar days. We've tried to leave a little bit of leniency in case we get a wet fall, but I think that would be adequate to relocate that portion.
Okay. So it'd basically be the summer. As it stands right now, I'm not trying to pin you down, but the thought is maybe July, August,
Yes.
September? Okay.
Yes, yep. We don't have any reason or intend to close the road until we begin construction. We're in this point, a fair amount of pre-construction items, drawings, shop drawings, things like that, as well as the permitting process. We'd like to hold that road closing to around 90 days.
Okay.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else from the chamber would like to speak for or against this? Okay. Discussion among our commissioners?
This is Anderson with staff too, and the subject to the following condition in the staff report, probably appropriate to put that a deed of dedication and drainage plan is submitted prior to forwarding to city council, just to make sure that that's clear, everybody.
Well, if there's no further discussion, we would entertain a motion.
This is Mike Young. I move that we approve the preliminary and final plat subject to the condition that a deed of dedication and drainage plan be submitted prior to forwarding to city council.
Second.
We have a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, passes unanimously. Our next item is a request by Allen Memorial Hospital for the 2-lot preliminary plat of United Medical Park Addition to allow for the construction of a new pain clinic located south of 1731 and 1753 West Ridgeway Avenue. Staff?
Graham with staff. I'll be covering again the preliminary and final plat in one staff report. This is a request would not appear to have a negative impact on the surrounding area, and the plat would promote additional development in the area. which would add tax base to the city and will be consistent to the existing medical office complex located just to the north. Now, the request would not appear to have a negative impact on traffic, as it would not significantly increase the amount of traffic on those surrounding roads. There are utilities that are in the area and can serve this new development. The future land use map does designate this area as mixed residential. The request would be in conformance with that designation. The preliminary and final plat do consist of 2 lots as well as a Tract A, which serves as a 50-foot ingress-egress access, containing 4.68 acres of land, which is located along West 4th Street. Lot 1 is 1.6 acres in size, and Lot 2 is 2.6 acres in size. And then Tract A, which is for the ingress-egress, is 0.425 acres in size. The proposed plats would allow for the creation of the 2 new lots, which could be used to expand the existing medical park to the north. Currently, a new pain clinic is under construction on Lot 1 of the plat. The pain clinic on Lot 1 does show 2 accesses, one from that existing ingress-egress access along Tract A, and they are also showing a new entrance directly onto West 4th Street. Both of the preliminary and final plats would meet the guidelines as set forth in the subdivision ordinance. Therefore, staff is recommending approval of both the preliminary and final plat of United Medical Park Addition, as it would be in accordance with the subdivision ordinance and can be served by existing utilities. It is in accordance with the comprehensive plan and future land use map. The plat will create an additional infill development site in the primary growth area, and the request would appear to meet all requirements of the zoning and subdivision ordinance. Questions for staff?
Would anybody in the chamber like to speak for or against this? Okay. Discussion among commissioners?
Just a question on procedure. We'll deal with this just like the previous one with the preliminary and final.
You can. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, hearing no discussion, we'll entertain a motion.
I'll move for approval of the preliminary and final plat of the United Medical Park Addition.
Second.
We have a first and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the request passed unanimously. Is there any other discussion? And any other item that's not on the agenda, Commission? Okay, hearing none, we will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Moved and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting is adjourned.
I would just